Hello friends. When we want to invest into stock markets, there are various parameters that we need to consider before investing into a stock market. Now sometimes some parameters may be good, like the sales might be good, the profitability might be good, but we still fail to understand that what is the reason behind the companies not performing. So one reason that can be a major reason for a company not performing is their pledge share details. Now what is this pledge shares? Sometimes the promoters of the company, they pledge their shares or they take a loan against the pledge shares, maybe for a capex or for acquisition or for merger or for their any kind of fund requirement for the business. So if that goes on increasing, then that is a negative sign for a company, which tells us that there is some deep-rooted liquidity problem in the system of the business. But if the pledge share goes down, quarter after quarter or year after year, then that tells us that the financials of the company are on a improving stage. So these pledge share can act as a deterrent to the price share movement on a higher side or on a lower side. So if the pledge share increases, the price tends to move down, and if the pledge share decreases, then the price tends to move up of the stock. Now, why do pledge share matters a lot? Because if there are any micro changes in the company's performance, like they might be facing some liquidity crisis, maybe because of some short-term reasons. So then what happens is that their pledge shares might get sold off from the lenders from where they have taken the loan after pledging the shares. So those lenders might sell the shares in the market because of margin not getting paid by the promoters, because when the share prices decreases and the pledge share at what price it was pledged, if there's a difference between the two, then the promoters have to give a margin to that. And if they have liquidity problem, it may be a a little time problem or for a short period of time, but then too the shares get sold off. So normally what happens is, in this scenario, many investors want to stay away from companies which have higher amount of pledge shares, because they might actually give us losses in a longer period of time. So now where to find that from? So here in the StockEdge app, we have a scan known as the pledge share scan in the fundamental scan of in the section. So under the fundamental scan, when we go to the StockEdge, then what we see that we have this scan known as promoter holding pledge scans. Now this promoter holding pledge scan will tell you that whether the pledge is increasing or whether the pledge of the shares is decreasing. So if it's an increase, it's bad for the company. If it's a decrease, then it's a good for the company. So we have these data for increased pledge. Then these are some of the shares for which the pledge is decreasing. Then we have some shares in which there are no pledge. That means there is no share pledge for the promoters. So the promoters have not pledged any share in this company. Next we have low pledge shares. So what do we mean by low pledge? Low pledge means if only 20% of the shares is pledged, or between 0 to 20% if the shares are pledged, then that is known as low pledge. So we have some of these shares which are low pledge shares. Then we have moderate pledge shares. Now what are the moderate pledge? Ones which are between 20 to 40%, means 20 to 40% of promoter shareholding is pledged. So they are known as moderate pledge. Then we have high pledge shares, means ones which are above 40%. That means from the promoter shareholding, it is more than 40% which they have pledged in their shares. So these are some of the companies which have got high pledge. So this scan will let you understand that which company should you invest into and which company should you stay out for because of higher pledge. So if you want to know more about this in detail, then what you can do is you can log on to blog.stockedge.com, where you can read about this in detail. And I'm sure you must have liked our video, so do like, share and subscribe it. And if you want to know more about all the other videos that we are posting, then do not forget to press the bell icon. Thank you.